Hi everyone, this is Neha Gupta, founder of College Shortcuts and Elite Private Tutors. I am so glad to be talking to you about an Ivy League today, Yale and their acceptance rate. Now, I know everyone wants to know the secret sauce of getting into this college, so let's talk about it. You know, nothing says Ivy League like New Haven, Connecticut. When you've got Isha Ambani as an alumni or Anderson Cooper, I mean, you can only imagine how tough it is to get into Yale. So let's go ahead and take a closer look of what it takes to get into this university. Now, Yale, it's got about 31,445 students that applied, of which only 6.3% were actually accepted. And compared to the rest of it, Yale's acceptance rate is one of the most competitive in the group. You know, it's also one of the most diverse student bodies as well, so you should keep that in mind. Now, here are just some statistics I think you should know about the Yale acceptance rate. Now, keep in mind, 15% of the freshmen are first-generation students, which means they're the first in their family to ever graduate from a university. Heads up, big deal to get in when you're the first time going to school. In your family, you're like, yeah, I went to Yale. I mean, that's crazy, right? 15%. They also have a 50-50 male to female ratio. Not a lot of colleges do that. Currently, there are more females in school right now than males. Here they have a 50-50 in their incoming class. Only 13% are legacy. So please don't think like, oh, if my kids, I have legacy, then they get in. No, they have 13% are legacy. They don't fill the whole class with legacy. And 64% of the students are getting financial assistance. So if you can't pay for college, 64%, more than half of the students at Yale get financial assistance. And just so you know, 60% are coming from public schools, not private schools. So a lot of people say, oh, all the private school kids go to Yale. Guys, there's no line in the numbers. The numbers tell you, okay? And then keep in mind, there's close to upwards of 12% of students are international students, ranging from Australia to China to Germany to Ghana to India, Italy, you name it. But before you think about breezing your way through high school or thinking that any of these easy numbers, if you fall into those categories, will help you, these statistics they don't mean that, you know, Yale just let anybody in. Remember, it's still 6.3%. And you've got to bring your A game to the application. So here's the flip side. Less than 2,000 of Yale's applicants were actually accepted. 95% of their accepted students were in the top 10% of their grade. Let me tell you why. I had a student who got into Yale, full ride scholarship, everything. Their scores were impeccable, all right? Of the students that submitted their ACT score, 78% of them had between a 32 or 36 on the ACT. Roughly 50% of students that submit SAT scores, typically their scores are between 760 to 800 on every section. Guys, that's almost a perfect score. So you need to understand you've got to be some of the best to go to Yale. It's still an Ivy League college. It is a reach school on everybody's list. Even if you fall within the credentials, it's still a reach school. But let's talk about how you can improve your chances. You know, it may be that you can't change what country you're from, or the fact that your parents went there, or the fact that you're first generation, etc. But, you know, at least if you're a male or female, you're pretty good to go, right? 50-50. But let's talk about it. There's ways to do this. You can improve your test scores, ACT and SAT. I run Elite Private Tutors. I help students with academic success with my company of coaches. We do it through Skype. We help students raise those test scores. Being in the top 10%, it's a strategy. There's systems, there's ways to do this. Getting at the top is easy. If your child is struggling in school, it's not always normal. You've got to get them the help they need to succeed. A lot of times that is a coach that steps in and says, hey, I've already been there, I'm 5 steps ahead, this is how you do it. So I'm trying to tell you that extracurriculars matter in this process. You're going to hear a lot about it when applying to college. It's so important. You know, when you're not in class or you're not doing homework, it's important to be getting involved. It's just as important as your grades and your test scores. I know that sounds insane, but it is. Because this is your chance to have fun and wow the admissions teams about what you're into. And Yale's not just looking for students that are understanding how to read a textbook. They want to make sure that there's more to life than just school and that you are a leader. And essays are huge. You should take a look at the examples online of Yale essays. We've got some reports that show you good, bad, and ugly essays. You know, there are essay courses, there are essay reports. We've got resumes. These are things that are so important to look at. Your personality and how you're going to contribute to Yale will showcase through the essays. So these are good things to keep in mind when you're writing them. And they're very diverse. They're very big on that. And you know, the acceptance rate is not something a lot of people accomplish, to be very, very honest. But what do you think? Will you be applying to Yale? Are you an alumni? Maybe you have something to offer. Leave us your thoughts and comments below. I'm super curious. Go ahead and comment. Let me know about your thoughts about Yale. Again, this is Neha Gupta. Definitely, if your child is in high school, get my book, The 4-Year Plan, or if they're in middle school. If you're interested in the college admissions process, I have incredible courses online through College Shortcuts, where we help students around the world. Thousands of kids get into their dream college. 95% of students that work with me get into their top 3 choices. So I'm here to help serve your family. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, like our page on Facebook, and leave a comment below about what you think about this video. I'd love to hear from you and hear everything that you want to talk about. Thanks so much for joining again. This is Neha Gupta, founder of College Shortcuts and Elite Private Tutors. Yale acceptance rate, practically impossible, 6.3%. Oh no, 6.3%, isn't that like half a human? I think it's half a human. Literally, it's like half a human. No joke, let me show you. Is that one page? Half a human, check this out. This is the amount that a student can be accepted. Frowny face. Half, no legs, sorry. No, it's just the arms. Yep. 6.3%. Oh well, what do you do? Gotta do your best, leave the rest. Turn that frown upside down. Okay, getting into college can be fun, guys. Really, it doesn't have to be this whole stress case thing. It's about just understanding which schools, and then half of you can get in.